Another super stout heat race here in your Rick's Customs IMCA Modifieds. Jimmy Cole, always a threat to win anywhere he goes. Jim Teague's a multiple-time track champion. Bob Moore, a multiple-time track champion. So 6 great cars here in heat race number 3 for your Rick's Customs IMCA Modifieds. Green flag is out. Here we go. 8 laps the distance. Everyone getting all kinds of anxious off into turns 1 and 2. Looks like we're going to call that one a no-go, as maybe somebody got a little excited on the initial start. Let's just be honest. It's opening night. You get some nerves. You're ready to go. You're like, let's do this. But the lights are out. We're going to try her one more time. That looks a little better as the green flag waves. 3 wide momentarily as Jim T's working up the inside line. But Jimmy Cole takes the top spot. Jim T's second. Bob Moore tries to shoot the gap. Drives it in deep into the corner, but it's going to be Jimmy Cole. Jim T's, Mike Van Genderen, your top 3. Bob Moore, 4th. As Moore works the bottom side of the speedway. Move Moore up to 3rd ahead of Van Genderen. Bob Fleshman, Justin Volts rounding out the field. But Bob Moore trying to catfish down low. Can't quite take 2nd. As out front, it's Jimmy Cole, your leader in the 55. Van Genderen with a big run off of turn 2. My goodness. Gets around Bob Moore, tries to look at Jim Tees as well. It's a 3-way dance, 3 wide at the line for the runner-up spot. Jimmy Cole leads out of turn number 2. Mike Van Genderen to 2nd. Bob Moore and Jim Tees still running side by side for that 3rd spot. As Van Genderen found something down low. Meanwhile, Jimmy Cole nearly a half straightaway advantage off into turn number 1. Van Genderen also running that line we saw earlier. As trouble for the 48 of Moore, he slows off too. Looks like Bob Moore falls to the tail of the field. Might have had a little trouble there at the exit of turn number 2. But Van Genderen trying that line. Montag ran a little bit earlier, and at least in turns 1. Van Genderen gets her tail happy in 2. Whips the tail too far out, but gets back on the gas and holds the runner-up spot. Jimmy Cole out to a big lead. Mike Van Genderen 2nd. Jim Tees, Bob Fleshman. Justin Volt and Bob Moore as the white flag waves. Jim Tees and Van Genderen still battling for that runner-up spot. 48 car showing some smoke. But off of turn number 4, he started up front and he drove away. Picking up the heat race win, the 55 of Jimmy Cole. 2nd to Mike Van Genderen, Jim Tees, Bob Fleshman. At the line. Got Bob Fleshman, excuse me, and Justin Volts running out the field. Again, 6 cars set to go 8 laps here in heat race number 2 for your Rick's Customs IMCA Modified Division. Modifieds racing for a $50 hard charger bonus from the folks at Artworks Graphics. And the mystery bonus for $25 in their feature from Marshalltown Speedway. But heat race number 2 picks up the pace off turns 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Let's get back to it. Little bit of rubbing down the front stretch as Chris Mills takes the top spot, but here comes Darren Rumpke to challenge him for the lead. Dylan Ricks down low, trying to work into that runner-up spot. Contact down the front stretch. Ricks and Rumpke rubbing it through down the front stretch into turn 1. Allowed Ricky the Racer to move to 3rd. Darren Rumpke trying to move back into that 3rd spot. As it is Chris Mills out front in the 02 JR. Dylan Ricks, Ricky Steffen. Darren Rumpke, Matt Bonine, and Sean Berrigan rounding out the field. Chris Mills, a little tail happy, kicks her sideways, but drives down the hill with a big run. Field getting stretched out a bit now around Interstate Speedway. Dylan Ricks working the lower line as Mills continues to work up high. Ricks with a big run through the middle of 3 and 4. Off turn 4, we got a new leader. It's Dylan Ricks. Mills tries to cross over the bottom of turn 2, gets a big run down the backstretch. Mills and Ricks slicing and dicing high, low, and in between. As they battle off turn number 4, it's still Chris Mills out front. Dylan Ricks showing a little bit of right side damage, but he'll keep her rolling as Mills and Ricks. Again, big run through the middle. But Mills gets such an advantage down off the top of the hill at turn 4. Just allows him to pull away from the 45 of Ricks. Ricky Steffen third, Rupke, Bonine, and Berrigan battling it out back in the pack. Ricky Steffen gets her tail happy. He's going to lose a bunch of ground to the top 2 cars as the white flag waves. Ricks and Mills still battling for the race lead. Final time through turns 3 and 4. Ricks sends her. Mills comes down the hill at the line. It'll be Chris Mills. Dylan Ricks second, Ricky Steffen third. Darren Rupke, Matt Bonine got by Rupke and Sean Berrigan rounding out the field. Do the Facebook Live thing. Get the phones out. Get the lights on. It is time to go feature racing with the Ricks Customs IMCA Modifieds. Lights go down around Interstate Speedway, 20 laps the distance. Bob Fleshman, Ricky Steffen, your front row. Pace picks up. Let's go green. Off into turn 1. Ricky Steffen on the top side of the speedway. A couple cars awful high in 1 and 2. We stay green as Ricky Steffen leads. Jim T's on the bottom. Off of turn 4 at the line. Ricky Steffen, your leader. Steffen with the lead over Jim T's. Third, Bob Fleshman, Matt Bonine, Dylan Ricks. Here comes Chris Mills. Meanwhile, back in the pack, Jimmy Cole, 10 cons loose. Look out, Fleshman goes around in 1 and 2. Bob Fleshman goes around in turns 3 and 4, as the caution will wave. A couple cars had to take some evasive actions. As Mike Van Gendren, I do believe, got into the wall, trying to avoid everybody checking up around the 7 of Fleshman. He's trying to find his way into the pit area, but there's currently a truck trying to make its way out of the pit area. So let's go out around the speedway. Ricky the Racer, Steffen up front in the 25. Green flag waves. We get back on the gas. Ricky Steffen leads. Dylan Ricks got a great start. Pushes up off of turn number 2. As Ricks is second. Jim T's right on the bottom side. Not really getting up to speed. As look out, Bob Moore goes around. Bob Moore snapped around bottom of 3 and 4. Fleshman with nowhere to go made contact. And we'll have caution for the 48 of Moore and the 7 of Fleshman. Not sure what happened to Bob Moore in the 48 there. That car just snapped around at the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Fleshman had nowhere to go, made a little bit of contact with the 48, but not very often do you see the 48 car just whip around sideways like that, so not sure if something amiss under the 48 car. If you are tuned in on Advantage Racing TV, we've got a replay of the action. Bob Moore and looks like the 47 of Darren Rupke racing together. Well, I think if you're watching on Advantage Racing TV, that might explain it. 48 was up in front of the 47, and a little bit of contact was made, which explained why the car went around so quickly. They're tuned in on Advantage Racing TV tonight, so thanks to them for tuning in. But got a good lineup on the speedway. Ricky Steffen, your leader in the 25. Dylan Ricks, Jim T's your second row as we go back to green. Again, Jim T's not getting a great start. Allows Ricks to get up in there. Ricks got a great run down low. Look out, Dylan Ricks moved to the lead. 45 car with a great run at the bottom of the speedway takes the race lead away from Ricky Steffen. Third is now Matt Bonine, Chris Mills, Jim T's. That is your top 5. As T's continues to work the top side of the speedway, Justin Volt's trying to work the bottom of the 22. make some headway down low. As Tees losing the handle on the 23, here comes Jimmy Cole. Bob Moore getting by Tees as well. But at the front of the field, Dylan Ricks, your leader in the 45. Working that lower line, Ricky Steffen all the way up top. Cutting off the bottom of turn 4. Bonine, Mills, Bolts now your top 5. Dylan Ricks, the only driver really running the bottom side of the speedway all the way around the track. Everybody else trying some different lines, trying to reel in that 45 car. But Ricks setting a torrid pace, now a full second advantage over Steffen, who now falls to the clutches of Matt Bonine. Chris Mills 4th, Justin Volts 5th, Bob Moore with a good recovery, Moore up to 6th around Jimmy Cole. Jimmy Cole, little high in 3 and 4, had to check up to not get in the wall. Might cost him another position, and it does to Jim Tees. Meanwhile, out front, Dylan Ricks pulling away. Matt Bonine reeling in Steffen for second. Chris Mills now trying that lower line, see if it'll work for the 02 car. But Dylan Ricks out front continues to lead in the 45. Closest battle on track is for that runner-up spot with Steffen and Bonine at the halfway point. The cross flags, 10 down, 10 to go. Darren Rupke takes the 47 car into the infield. No more racing for the 47. He calls no joy as Dylan Ricks clicks off another lap out front. Ricky Steffen high in turn 1. That opens the door for Matt Bonine. Bonine, you open the door. One of these drivers is going to slam through and close it. As Bonine now to the top of 3 and 4, trying to hold the race lead. Steffen trying to fight back. Steffen and Bonine continue to battle for that runner-up spot as Bonine holds on to second. Jim Tees having trouble in the 23. He takes that car pit side. Ricky Steffen up on the top side, beginning to lose touch with Matt Bonine. Bonine in the 141 holds down that second spot as Steffen stays committed to the top. That's allowing Chris Mills to chase down the 25. Meanwhile, Dylan Ricks a full straightaway advantage, 3.8 seconds over Matt Bonine. Dylan Ricks is gone like a freight train, gone like yesterday. Bonine, Steffen, Mills, Justin Volts, they're going to need either hard brake or some kind of caution to have any chance of driving and pulling in that 45. As Dylan Ricks now almost 4-second advantage over Matt Bonine. Chris Mills still trying to reel in Ricky Steffen for that third spot. But this time by the flag stand, it's still Dylan Ricks by nearly 4 seconds. Field getting stretched out a bit now around the speedway. Chris Mills again looking to the bottom in a challenge for that third spot. As Dylan Ricks is putting on a clinic, straight getting after it as the white flag waves, 1 to go. Matt Bonine solidly second. Steffen, Mills, Volts your top 5. As your leader rolls into turns 3 and 4, checkered flag set to fly. Your feature winner, the 45 of Dylan Ricks. Second to Matt Bonine. Third at the line. Oh, brother, Chris Mills by .004. Mills by .004 over Steffen at the transponder. For the 4th spot, Justin Volts rounding out your top 5. But oh my goodness. The Ricks Customs IMCA Modified feature winner. He's a little presumptuous. I think he's a little excited. Still got to get to the scale. He forgot about the scale part. He's just like, I want to get to victory lane. Understandable, but you got to follow the rules. Got to get you through scales and tech first. But pending scales, your feature winner of 45 of Dylan Ricks.
45D of Dylan Ricks. First modified feature win, everybody. Give it to him. Congratulations, buddy. You're patient. You made it happen. Congratulations.
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks to everybody that helps out on this car. My dad's birthday is today, so this is a good birthday present for him. Thanks to my girlfriend and just everybody that helps out on this thing. And I guess I can tell Keegan I was a little bit patient in those first laps. He didn't think I could do it, but I think I got a little patient there. So,
Who do you got to thank?
all the sponsors on the car: Rick's Custom, Rick's Transportation, Gator Masonry, NF1 Race Cars, JP3 Transmission. Yeah, that's about it.
Congratulations, buddy. Here you go. Let's give it up for the 45D of Dylan Ricks. First modified feature win.
Well, I think that would explain his excitement and rush to get into victory lane. So congratulations, Dylan Ricks. The first one, always the best one here, picking up the feature win at Interstate Speedway in the Ricks Customs IMCA Modifieds. Our hard charger award for the $50 from Reworked Graphics went to Sean Berrigan as he moved up 5 spots in the feature event. So congratulations to Sean.